and then I look at basically what the teams did to get a sense of whether I think it's going to be useful or not. Alright, Prokhorovka in a WZ-111. No artillery, this is fantastic for you. I would probably play this 6 line here. Depends on what your team sends to this 0 line. Usually teams play this 0 line fairly poorly, and they end up camping back here. If you wanted, since there's no artillery, you can actually push up into this sort of you want to push up into about this area right here, this sort of G0 area here, because that way what happens is that you can light this area over here, but you're actually protected from direct fire. But I don't know necessarily that I would do that. I would probably play 6 line first, unless, you know, I had some, like if I was in a platoon and my platoon mates wanted to play the 6 line, I might go play this 0 line so I could light it for them. But, you know, solo in a pub match, I would probably play 6 line here. And you always want to look and see what your team is doing. You're sending a couple of your mediums and light tanks out to this west side here, which is pretty useless. It's not really anything for them to do over here. Sending a bunch of tanks over towards this 0 line, which is okay. You have an FCM here, which is great. So just you know, it's not like the WZ-111 is a sniping machine, but you can still deal some good damage. I mean, the distance here is, you know, like 400 meters or so, so you can still deal some pretty good damage. You don't have optics, but you do have binocs, so this is actually a good position, so you can light people that are up there. It's probably a guy that's lower down on that hill that's lighting you. I normally would not run optics on this. You're better off running like a vertical stabilizer, which you might already be running, I don't know. And then when I'm on this side, I usually shoot down this yellow house right here because it blocks good shots that you'll get into that area over there. You're not going to have good shots on this VK until he gets a little bit higher up, until about right there, like this bush right there. So you can see how you have a shot on this guy right now, like if you were looking this way, like without even shooting down that house. So that's something that you should be looking for. And then see how the house is blocking your shot in the Cromwell. That's why usually at the beginning of the game I just shoot that house down. This is good though. You're in position to shoot those guys as they're lit, and it looks like they've got a lot of dudes there. That's the 3001D that you could have shot earlier. Looks like they've got a lot of dudes there. So this is right, and this T-34 that's right here, he's not keeping you honest. He's saying, please go ahead, keep shooting my teammates. So keep shooting his teammates. And right, this guy that's lit, these guys up here, if they move a little bit more to the west, they can shoot down at that T-34 as well. And then right now, you're not going to get shots. See how this guy's moving forward? So now you're going to get lights. So you always want to be able to, you want to be set. You shoot the 3001D, take the gun out. You always want to be set in a position where if you see your guys moving forward, you want to be ready to shoot by that time. And then not a lot of their tanks there can do a lot to your turret, which is basically all you're giving them over this area. So, you know, make sure that you keep getting shots here. And you don't really need to back off until the T-34 tries to keep you honest, right? You want to be, as soon as you're loaded, you want to be shooting, right? See how you got about a second or so there, and you didn't aim entirely? Like, you want to be ready to click that fire button as soon as your reticle settles in. Like, this looks pretty good. That one was pretty good, right? There's very little time between when the reticle fully settled and when you actually fired. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that highest DPM you could possibly put out there. There's that 112 just shot at you from that one line. You guys are playing pretty far back. So now you actually have to play a little bit more careful. You want to try to get this shot off. You want to try to get either of the tank. The ones that you can get down would be fantastic. You might have to wait for him to back up a little bit. Unfortunately, these guys, they're not keeping this T-34 very honest. And you can't really push that T-34 from your position. And then, so see how far down that 112 is? So you're going to start wanting to get off of this line, because this is going to start become a progressively bad position for you to be in. And it's fine, like, it's reasonably close where you can actually just drive back over here. You've taken this 0 line over here. You can actually just drive across over here, just drive across the railroad tracks right here and be safe. But what you don't want to do is eventually keep getting sniped from this 1 line, which is going to end up being what happens if you stay here. So look and see if you can get a shot on that 112. You need to move out of this position, whether it's to get better shots or whether it's to reposition yourself. One of the two things needs to happen. You cannot stay where you're at. And I would say all you have to do is just drive over the railroad tracks, because that gives you you're protected. Especially since, see how that T-34 moved off. Just use this rock to put you between you and the T-34, back over the tracks, and then all of a sudden you've got a hull down now. Because you're not going to beat that T-34 when he's hull down like that. You need to back off, because you're starting to get shot from different flanks. And all you have to do is just back up like 20 meters, 30 meters, just over the railroad track, right? And then none of these guys will be able to get good shots on you. But right now, they're just sort of pecking away. And your armor is saved you, right? And the only big gun you got to worry about is the T-34. No, I'm about to take off. I'm doing replay reviews right now, and then I'm gonna bail. Sorry.
User left your channel.
Yeah, so this guy's pulling up on your side. I would worry more about the T-34. And then see, now you're backing up across this. This is perfect. Like, watch, you'll have much better defensive and offensive capabilities just from being on this side of the track. And then so what you can do is you can either play back on that side or forward on this side. I would probably play forward. You've got an IS-6 going through there. You could have taken your time on that and made that shot count. And again, you're hull down to a lot of these tanks here, so just don't go too high on this ridge, right, on this little mound right here, and you'll be fine. And then you can push forward again, right? Most of their team is on this side of the track, so you can push forward and you'll be able to light them, and you'll be able to get shots. That's not going to be a very good shot. Right, and so if you keep this, like, if you keep these guys proxy lit, then this IS-6 down there can get free shots into them. Unfortunately, your Ferdinand on the hill doesn't look like he's doing a whole lot right now. Like, he theoretically should be able to get shots into those guys. Shoot a little bit more to the right. There you go. Your shell straight to the right for you. See how the T-34 is facing IS-6? Push the T-34. Push the T-34. These guys can't cover you because you put this building between you. No. T-34. T-30. Who cares about the jumbo? T-34. T-34. You can shoot him. He's giving you side turret. He's not giving you side turret anymore. Yeah, that jumbo, completely meaningless relative to the T-34. T-34 is a huge threat. The jumbo, probably not even going to damage you. You can still push this T-34 and take him out, right? And that would still, because it's going to take a while for these guys to reinforce him. The jumbo would have struggled just to kill the IS-6. It's the T-34 that was the bigger threat there. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to be able to figure out where the IS-6 T-28 are, because they're presumably going to be approaching your position. Now, you don't want to leave the middle right now because you've got nothing else. You've got no other eyes through the middle. This jumbo's not going to really have eyes through the middle there.
It's a trap!
You can actually shoot through the railroad tracks here. He doesn't have good shots on you. No, 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 don't turn your side turret to him. You're giving him side turret. Face the T-28. There's not, the T-34 cannot shoot you. Only the T-28 can. You can get shots on the T-28, but not on the T-34. So the T-34 facing the T-34 is not helping you. Just shoot the T-28. Especially T-28 is giving you some side armor right now. Not a whole lot, but you can shoot him through that drive wheel. He's facing you now. So you can still shoot that T-28 through the tracks. And so what you need to do is back up and position your tank about 3 meters to the left. The T-34, completely irrelevant still. Yeah, especially see how he gave you that shoulder, that front drive wheel? Just shoot him straight through it. He's still giving it to you. Still giving it to you. He can shoot right through that side armor. Perfect. That's fine. That was worth it. The IS-6 is there. You can get that shot. Take that shot. Take that shot. Good job. And then this guy, where he's at, you're not going to be able to shoot him through the tracks. And so see how the jumbo is over here? So actually what you want to do is come over here so that you can be in a 1-2 situation. You don't want to go to the same side of as the jumbo. You want to go to the opposite side of the jumbo. The jumbo is going to struggle to pen that guy either way. So the IS-6 is going to prioritize. Well, the IS-6 should prioritize you over the jumbo.
It's a trap.
Right, and which is why, like, the jumbo's over here, that's why you want to be down here, right? So you can force this guy into a situation where he has to get shot by one of you. Alright, but see how the jumbo's struggling to damage that guy? If you were down here, you'd get rear shots into this IS-6. If the IS-6 turns to face you, the jumbo gets shots on him. And that's why you always want to go to the opposite side of where your teams are at, and especially if you're in a 3-on-1 situation like this. And you can proxy spot him going down here.
It's a trap.
No, I don't think the Ferdinand is AFK. I just think that he thinks that that's the best place for him to be. And then that's fine. Hopefully your jumbo doesn't die. Don't get shot, jumbo. Oh no, your jumbo's gonna go peek again.
It's a trap.
Careful, you just got lit. Okay, now go, 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 go. Now, push back up the lane that you're in, the 6th line. Because at least if you push back up the 6th line, you'll get... I don't know about this choice. Your Ferdinand has come off the hill. Like, you barely have enough time to cap out here. Like, you can get behind the boxes, but if he gets one reset, that's all that it really takes. And you want to be behind the boxes, not the popsicle stand. Because all he has to do is track you. He doesn't even need to deal damage to you. If he just tracks you, then that's it. And so what this Ferdinand should be doing is he should be driving straight west through to come right here, because he's gonna appear for you. Probably he'll either crest this ridge right here, or he'll drive around on that side. Okay, he's right there. So get in a position where you can shoot him. Don't shoot your own popsicle stand. Shoot to track. Like, all you gotta do is track him out there. There's no reason why you shouldn't have taken that shot. Okay, now, no. He's not lit. Don't drive out there. He's not lit. Stay in your position.
It's a
Because
trap.
you want to use those boxes to block a shot. Yeah, you probably should have had that one. Well, you should have had that in several different opportunities there. So we'll talk about what exactly happened there. So this is going to end in a draw, I'm guessing. Since the IS-6 can't possibly fire fast enough. Oh, he's on fire! Yeah, the Ferdy's not going to reload in time, though. Okay, so, number of mistakes. So actually playing 6-line was fine. You could have maximized your DPM a little bit more up here, especially when the T-34 was ignoring you. Once this one line, the west side, collapsed, you should have just crossed over the railroad tracks. You would have been a lot safer. You would have gotten the same shots that you got. You would have been safer shooting from the other side of the railroad tracks. And then the critical mistake, in my opinion, was when your IS-6 pushed over here. You pushed over here and you prioritized a jumbo over a one-shot T-34. The jumbo was not going to hurt your IS-6. It was the T-34 that would cause problems. You had a side turret shot on the T-34, but it didn't really matter. Even if you had no shot on the T-34, you should have just driven over there. I don't care if you have to ram him to death, right? You need to kill that T-34, not the jumbo. That's a huge error, and that probably is the first mistake that cost you the game. The second mistake was that when they were down to just that IS-6, and that IS-6 was not a good player. You had your jumbo over on this side. All you had to do is drive over here, and you could have gotten that IS-6 in 1-2s with your jumbo, and would have been really easy for you to both get good shots. Third mistake, I don't know necessarily that it would have went to cap, but you actually could have capped it out there. You should have stayed behind the box. You should have looked to track that guy as he was pushing out here when you weren't lit, right? And otherwise, you just sit behind the boxes, let your Ferdinand pick him up and do the work. You take those shots of opportunities. You're putting on the pressure by putting on the cap, by being on the cap there. You're forcing him to come through there and try to get a shot on you, right? You look at the time, know how far he has to travel, know that those boxes can eat one shell for you, right? And that's why you probably could have got that out there. So that was the third mistake. So there are multiple opportunities where you probably could have won there. And so if we look at the stats, let's see, did 5k damage. Your team actually didn't do that bad overall. Your guys on the west didn't do anything, but again, at the beginning of the game, I can tell you just based on the comp that you guys sent to the west that they were going to be irrelevant over there. It's more important to win that 6 line and the 0 line if you can, especially if you can have competent shooting from the 6 line to the 0 line. It's just a huge thing. You allowed their T-34 to do way too much damage, but them's the breaks. Did 5k damage, which is good. Your shooting efficiency was pretty good considering the distance that most of those shots came from. Otherwise, it's just you kind of have to get used to shooting under those tracks, where you can shoot under the trains and where you can't. Like, you could have had good shots on the T-28. It would have been nicer again if you had pushed that T-34, because once you take that T-34 down, your IS-6 is still alive, and you can kill that jumbo, and you control that side of the tracks as well. So that probably would have made the game pretty easy for you at that point. But overall, good game, nice try. I will. Are you on the NA server, Squidite? Actually, send me a. No, I'll send you the code if you're. I think these codes are only for the NA server, but let me know what server you're on, and I'll send you a message through the World of Tanks forums with the code for the gold and the day premium. Alrighty, so let's see. And so the next one will be TK Naders and his 122.44 on Ensk. Okay, Squid, I'll send you the code afterwards. I don't know if I'll have time to do it immediately after the stream, but it'll be today or tonight at some point. I'll send you the code. Yeah, even if the boxes don't eat shots, still I would hide behind them. I kind of think they do. I don't know. We should test that at some point. All right, 122.44 Ensk encounter. A lot of people like playing the field, especially when there's artillery. I don't like playing the field. 122.44 is a really good tank. It's a high DPM tank, especially when you're top tier. You can play the middle line over here. You can play through the city area over here. There's a lot of alleys, and tanks like this tend to do better in alleys than in open fields, especially considering that the traverse in the 122.44 is pretty low. I don't really think that you get that great of shots out here. Your MT-25 is moving forward. You actually have to be like on, see this bush right here? See, the way that these hills are shaped is that they go up and then they go down. So you have to be on the crest in order to actually shoot anything that's down there. But nothing's getting lit there anyways. And see how you got guys camping back here? This MT-25 is not really lighting for you. There's just so many disadvantages to playing the field in a non-turreted tank destroyer that I'm not entirely sure why people do it. Like, you can do it with some speed tanks, especially if it has a turret. You can play through this line over here, again, because it's alleys. You want to try to put yourself into alley situations. There's a T-29 immediately on your side right there. The cool thing about the SU 122.44 is that you can out DPM tanks. So like you could out DPM that T-29. You need to get your gun in the battle though. Just push that T-29. You can come up on either side of him.
It's a trap!
I would still push that T-29. And especially if you think you have an advantage against somebody, like if you're top tier versus top tier, but you think you have an advantage, it's always better for your team for you to kill top tier tanks.
It's a trap!
Okay. Free damage. You're getting decimated in the city though. You have a lot of tank destroyers out here, which hurts you because, especially since a lot of them are reasonably high tiered. They have an AT-7 going down the middle. You actually probably don't want to hold this side. You actually probably want to clear out this side, see if you can get to the backside of the AT-7.
It's a trap!
You still probably want to clear out the north because remember, there's no advantage to holding this south area. There's no, your cap isn't down here or anything like that.
It's a trap!
So there's really no advantage for you to hold down here. Lol, unless they keep just YOLOing into you for no reason. I would still clear this north area. These two guys here still much bigger problem. Your T-29 is going to struggle with the AT-7, but you're going to struggle with the AT-7 frontally as well. AT-7 is moving south on the 5 line. Again, it's irrelevant. Know where the cap is. Know what areas are important and what areas aren't. It's probably either the T-20 or the Tiger 1 that's on the cap. Take this guy out
It's
first.
a trap!
Well, you can aim that. I mean, at the very least, you should auto aim it. They came off the cap, so that's good. Don't forget, they still have 2 artillery active. You know that the F3 was in E6. The other guy was probably in like A2 or somewhere in that area.
It's a
Yeah,
trap!
see, at least you auto aim that one, so that's fine. So the AT-7 is probably still headed. He's going to be headed east on the J line now, so that's something to keep in mind.
It's a trap!
Maybe a little bit too much auto aim, or trying to aim on the move. No, just zoom in and kill him. You want to take the shot here. You want to take the shot here. You want to take the shot here. Don't let your T-25 take the shot there. See, like you should have gone around and then let the
It's a
T-25
trap!
go. There's you can't dick around here. You need to take the damage here. You need to take the damage here. God, the Tiger shot your T-25/2 with HE as well. If you push that Tiger 2, he would have shot you for like 20 damage, like he did the T-25/2. Push. No, not back. Forward. Oh man, that guy's dead. Well, at least he's firing AP now. Shoot engine deck. If you got side profile like that, shoot the engine deck, so at least you have a chance to fire. Also, do a little bit more sniper. Just out DPM him. No, you want to stay back. You don't need to get close to him, because Artie's going to be able to shoot you. Artie's behind. Lol, he shot heat. So you still have a minute and a half. It's probably the AT-7 that's on cap. So all you need to do is just reset cap. Hug this, oak this. Don't go out here. Where are you going? Go the other way. Go that way. The shorter way. Don't take the longest way possible. No. You've only got a minute. Especially if they get 2 on cap, then you got, like, they can now cap you. All you have to do is just drive around here, and then all you're really looking to do is just get 1 reset, and then you can leave, and then you can take your time. You don't have to hurry. Like, the way that you're going right now, even if you make it in time, which is sketchy, you have to rush the shot, right? You don't get to dictate terms. They get to dictate to you. See, now they have 2 on cap. Dun 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 dun. Too little, too late. Okay, so there were a number of mistakes again. One, I don't like playing non-turret tank destroyer in the field, even if that MT-25 did light for you. Like, especially when you see him driving down here. If he came out here, he might light for you. But you don't actually get very good shots. Where do you get shots? If you move up to about this bush right here, you get good shots down into this area right here. But because of the way the hills work, you kind of have to crest a hill, and so you're actually liable to get shot by anything else that's out here. And it's the same thing. Like, if they send a scout that lights all of your tank destroyers back here, none of these guys can actually shoot them because there's a hill that's in the way, so you can't actually shoot through that. Which is why, especially in a non-turret tank destroyer, you don't necessarily want to do that. Maybe if you have something with like super awesome traverse and depression, like a Digger Max or something that you could do, but still I wouldn't. It's just not really that solid of a play. It's much more solid to play through here. You pushed up through this middle area here, which okay, I felt like you could have out DP'd the T-29, but you chose to ignore him, and that's fine. I think that's a valid choice. You went and you killed this Stug, you killed that artillery, and you came back and killed the T-29, and that was fine because your team was struggling. But at that point, you sort of melted a lot. And then the mistakes started mounting, where you had full health. That T25/2 on your team had like 250 health. So you had a lot more health on him. All you have to do is just push around on those guys, that Tiger 1 and the T20 that were over here. You could have shot either of them, ideally the T20, because T20 was one shot. But that Tiger 1 was shooting HE, right? You should have led that charge around there. You could have saved the T25/2. That would have made a huge difference in the game. Even aside of that, though, even after that T25/2, you were able to take down that Tiger 1, which is fine. You still had a chance to win. Right? There's a minute left on cap. They have 1 on cap. You know that it's probably the AT7, because the AT7 never showed up on this side. Otherwise, you would have had much bigger issues. So all you have to do is just drive over here, and you can take one of many different routes. You can go up this 6 line here. You can go up this 4 line here. You can come up this 2 line here, right? You have multiple different choices. I would probably try to get a shot through this 5 line area. You don't need to deal damage. All you got to do is hit a track, just reset, give yourself another 3 minutes with which to come around. The AT7's a really slow tank. You're in a really fast tank. All you have to do is reset once, go kill the artillery, and then you can deal with the AT7 on the cap, and you should be able to wrap that up pretty easily. There was plenty of time left on the clock. You just ran out of time on your shot clock because you took a bad route to get there. And so it's important to understand that down in the distance, all you need to do is get 1 reset. And like I said, you didn't even need to deal damage. I'm not asking you to deal damage to that guy. All you guys do is just snapshot a track and then just leave. Alrighty, so if we look at the stats, you did 5k damage, which is great. Your team didn't do a whole lot, but a lot of your tank destroyers were camping in the back there, which is not what you want. None of them really had shots on much of anything until your team was already dead. Your T29 in the middle had a valiant effort, but he wasn't able to take down their AT7. Their AT7 wasn't that good either. Your T29 just wasn't able to deal with all of that. So even barring all that, even though the fact that you didn't really get that much damage out of your team, you still should have won this. And all you have to do was either look to save your teammates in certain situations, or just focus on how much time you have on the cap, especially when you know there's only 1 guy on cap, but you know there's 2 guys left. There's a pretty good chance they'll get that 2nd guy on cap at some point. So you should always be thinking about that. And when you think that you might run out of time, you want to take the shortest route possible, right? You don't want to handcuff yourself where you have to YOLO into the cap. You want to be able to try to take different pokes at it if you can. But otherwise, I thought you did a good job shooting for the most part. A little bit, you could have benefited a little bit more from a little bit more sniper zoom, a little bit less snapshot, a little bit less auto aim. But otherwise, I thought you did fine in that regards. So nice try, GG. You're on NA server, right? I'm pretty sure you are.
It's a trap!
Alrighty, and the next one is the Devil 99 IS-8 on Redshire. Alright, I'll get you your code out later today, TK. GG though. This looks like a different version. Hang on. I didn't check the version. It's 9.6. Let me find the 9.6 client. So the Devil 99, are you on the NA server, or which server are you on?
Disconnected.
Alrighty, let's see. So IS-8, Redshire, Standard. One artillery. It's a small artillery. I still like playing strong through the 3-line. If you get strong 3-line play, the IS-8 is actually a great tank to play on the 1-line. I see a lot of tanks go 0-line. I don't think 0-line is a very strong play at all. Usually so I've always said in the stream that whoever wins this side then has to cross a big open plain in order to get to the next area. So while this is an entertaining place to fight to some extent, it usually is not. Whoever wins there should turn around and go back and make sure they win on the other side. And so whenever that's the case, and that happens on a lot of maps, it's like Sacred Valley is a lot like that, where that south area on Sacred Valley, whoever wins it then has to cross like this huge open plain in order to get to the next area. So it's really easily defendable. So you got M103 playing strong on that 3-line while he's on the 2-line, which is somewhat questionable, which means you could play 1-line. And there's this sort of synergy between the 1 and the 3-line, where whatever the 1-line lights, if the 3-line is on the same plane as them, then you can shoot it, and whatever the 3-line lights, the 1-line can shoot. And so especially when there's a small artillery like this, you should move up to this next hill right here for a number of reasons. You'll get shots on these guys. Get shot. You're being a little bit too passive right now. You need to be a little bit more. There's no reason why you shouldn't move up and get a shot on that WZ-111 and or that FCM. Like, you're playing too far back. You can do the same thing that you're doing now from the hill that's in front of you. And you can't be afraid of little artillery.
It's a trap!
And like, if it requires pushing past this WZ-111 or to get to see how that FCM is one shot. Your team isn't being pressured on the other side, which is the redeeming quality of this all. You can shoot, I would shoot the top half. You can shoot the Mohawk at the IS-3. You'll overmatch it pretty easily. But again, so you've only got one shot out here. You need to be a little bit more active. So you're moving up now, which is good.
It's a trap!
You're moving back now, which is not so good. Like, basically, their team's getting much better shots, and so you want to move forward when you're loaded. Like, you don't want to move forward while you're reloading. That's fine. Now they're poking out more, so now you can be a little bit more passive, right?
It's a trap!
So now you can afford to be a little bit more passive. If they start being more passive, then you need to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so there's a one-shot CDC, there's a one-shot FCM, and there's a 1400 health WZ-111. There's a nice shot.
It's a trap!
You need to push this guy. Just push up on him. I guess your team isn't dying yet, but I guess he is allowing you to shoot him through the shoulder pretty easily. Oh man, there's a low behind him. No, shoot the W. Alright, shoot the left. That's fine. Push forward, though. Push forward. Just push forward. Just do it. Just push forward. You can do it. Your D's gonna die. Just push forward. You got this. Just push forward. They're still not pressuring you on this other side, which is, again, still good. But there you go. Push forward. There you go. Alright. There you go. Look to take the FCM. Oh, the FCM backed off. That's fine. Get a shot on the low, and then keep pushing forward. No, keep pushing forward. Keep the pressure on. They're all one-shot tanks. There's going to be like a JT or something high on camping behind them, but you don't have to worry about that yet. Right? What you want to do is you want to get into this little groove right here, where they can't shoot you from that ledge right there. Don't worry about the bulldog. Bulldog's irrelevant. Don't worry about the bulldog. Okay, if you are going to shoot at the bulldog, aim at the bulldog. Push this FCM. Push straight towards this house and then kill the FCM. Because the more that you push wide here, see how you're giving them more and more better shots from you over here? Push towards this house, and he won't be able to do that. That was SU-152. So SU-152 is between these... between those two houses right there. You got shot from this middle area here. And so when you push this side, now you need to push all the way on this left area over here. Okay, now you need to be a little more passive. So get someplace where your artillery's safe, ideally. That's nice. Oh, the backs. Get someplace where you're a little bit more artillery safe. And then, so that guy's not going to come back for a while. So what you actually probably want to do is push through these houses over here and see if you can get either lights or shots on these guys over here.
It's a
I
trap!
guess he did come back. And that works. Don't push on this side of the house yet, because you have to remember that they're over here. They don't, right? So you know where most of their tanks are at, right? There's only one tank that's unaccounted for. So what you want to do is you want to push up to where that SU-152 was, because you'll get great shots on these guys right there. Like pushing up through here, you're going to get shots on them, but they're going to have just as good shots on you, and you can get shot in the flanks. They're pushing, see how they're pushing? But they're pushing into a flank. You got an M103 over there. Oh man, and all of their tanks are here, right? And so if you cleared out this area, you can take out that Crusader, and you can get shots on these guys, and you'd be much safer than where you're at right now. Like, you can encapsulate them, but you needed to not be quite so close as you were. Take your time with that shot. That's fine. You should, like, this T-54 should still go kill that artillery, because that would free up a lot. Right? Yeah, they're still encapsulated. I'm not entirely sure how you lose this. Look to the left. This guy's gonna charge your T-54. No, don't drive out there. You don't even need to drive out there. Yeah, just get the shot. Good job. No, and then drive back to where you're safe. You should still, like, this T-54 should still, or somebody should have taken out this artillery. You can also take out that artillery, just put cap pressure, force the PTA to drive up to this building to try to get you, but a lot of this depends on the artillery being down. The artillery is probably out here someplace. So then all you see how this T-54 is putting cap pressure on now. So you don't even need to drive up here per se. Just let him drive. He's gonna drive over here. So just drive over onto this backside of this hill right here, and just wait for him. That's what your advantage is, that you know exactly where he has to go.
It's a trap!
Give him as much frontal armor as possible. Nice try. Yeah, so you want him to just have to drive across this open plain to try to get to your guy, right? And then you can just shoot him, right? You catch him out in the open crossing this plain, and you get free shots, and there's nothing that he can do about it. What you don't want to do is close the gap and allow him to use his health advantage to take you out. Alright, anyways, so we'll go ahead and look at this, because I don't think the rest of that game is going to be very, very interesting to look at anyways. Oh, actually, I guess I should have talked about the round before we did that. Okay, so what were the number of problems that occur here? So you went to this zero line, you actually traded pretty well over here. Just one thing, if they're being passive, you want to be a little bit more aggressive. If they're being more aggressive, you want to be a little bit more passive. If they're switching between the two, then you want to switch between the two. You always want to match what they're giving you. If they're giving you rope, you take rope. If they're trying to hang themselves, you allow them to hang themselves. You don't want to YOLO in there per se. Although there were a couple of opportunities where they had a bunch of low tier tanks back there, and all you really had to do was I'm sorry, not low tier, low health tanks back there, and all you really had to do was just I want to see what's going to happen here. And all you really had to do was just push around a little bit, even if you take a shot to kill either that FCM or what was the other? There was another one-shot tank that ended up back there. That's sort of what you're looking to accomplish. Wow, this Leo PTA is being really safe. Anyhow. And then that's fine. And then when you push across here, you need to be very careful. You can push towards this house. You have to expect that at least one of their tank destroyers, if not the JT, is going to be over here. It turned out that the SU-152 was over here. You were able to take them out. And then probably the biggest mistake that you made was that you drove over here to shoot these guys when you didn't. You absolutely did not need to do that. You overexposed yourself. You didn't really get very good shots. All you had to do is just drive over to where that SU-152 was. You would have had the same shots of opportunity. They wouldn't have had any shots back at you. And if you don't get lights there, your team was encapsulating them, but let's say you didn't get lights there, you push down here, you kill the artillery, you come back, you get the same shots, right? You've got a complete encapsulation of their team. All four of their tanks were right here. Their artillery was out here. You had an M103 over here. You had a bunch of guys over here. You had even a tank. I think it was like a light tank or something that was over here. You had a 100% encapsulation of them that you just didn't take advantage of. You drove too close. You allowed them to get shots. You allowed them to deal damage to you when you really didn't get good shots. Whereas if you were from higher ground, from further out, you would have gotten the same shots, been a lot safer. Same shots are better and been a lot safer. And so I think that was probably the biggest mistake there. And then again at the end, 1v1 versus the PTA, when you're one shot and he's got a lot of health, you need to make sure that you want to catch him out in the open. You don't want him to close the gap. He wants to close the gap. against you, because he knows, oh, well, I can take 2 shots from him and all I gotta do is deal 1 shot of damage, so I got all day. So he wants to close the gap, you want to keep that gap. You've got cap pressure, so you know that he's going to come back through here. So all you have to do is just get someplace safe, make him commit to crossing, and then get your free damage. And then he's got to decide, I can divert and attack, push at you, or I can continue crossing across this open plane to get to where the cap pressure is, right? And so you want to create that decision. You don't want to make yourself a speed bump along the way where it's just like, oh, well, I'm going to take a shot of damage from you, but there's nothing that you can do to stop me from killing you, right? You don't want to create that situation. You need to have that gap between you and that PTA at the end. Okay, now let's look at the stats, and we'll watch this SU-14 die at the same time. And so if we look at the stats, let's see, you did almost 7k damage, which is pretty good. Your M103, which is like a guy on the 1 line, and again, they didn't pressure him on the 1 line. You had spots on the 3 line, which is why that 1 line is a really fantastic place to play. The Conqueror is the guy that was on your side, that took a lot of damage early on. This T-30 was the guy that was camping on the ridge. So yeah, it would have been nice if you got a little bit more on your team, but your team didn't perform that badly overall. You probably could have, again, I think the difference is the way that you played that mid game, mid to late game, where you got too close to them when you could have basically gone the K line and either killed the artillery or gotten the same shots or better on their guys on the hill. Whenever you have an encapsulate like that, look to maintain the encapsulate and get shots for damage. You didn't need to be frontline in that particular scenario because they were in a bad position on that hill because they were getting shot from every direction. What they needed to do was to be able to push out. But GG. I mean, you were efficient with your shots, which is good, and you bounced a lot. A lot of them was against like that IS-3 and people in that initial alley, which is fine, but you need to be able to do things like that. So GG, nice try.